Why, hello. I think it's time for another film. What do you think? Yes, I'm 47 years old, hence the glasses. I know I have not worn them yet, but here they are because I'm going to do some reading. Yes, I don't have any major correspondence on this channel just of yet. That will be coming. Hi, everybody out there, MS community. I'm here for you. Fellow nurses with MS, perhaps. I'm here for you. Anyhow, I'm going to be doing some reading. Some of these are kind of lengthy. Some of these are based on a new diagnosis. Pardon me, nose itch. Some of these are based on a new diagnosis. Some of them are just kind of general. I'm not doing too many for now. Well, obviously, I'm sure there's more on there. And yes, I'm using Reddit. So if this happens to be you and you see this, I'm giving you my 2 cents on your question. I don't deem myself to be an expert, of course, by any means. I'm just giving you my thoughts on it. So without further ado, here we go. Thank God for these readers, eh? Okay. Hi there. I was diagnosed with MS 2 weeks ago to date. I've had 2 MRIs, one of my brain without contrast in early July, and one of my brain cervical spine and thoracic spine with and without contrast in late July. Without the amazing technology we have today, I probably wouldn't have been able to do the research myself, and grateful for that. I feel like I nearly was able to diagnose myself. I'm gonna kind of skip ahead. Symptoms. Symptoms were started in late April with right-sided only facial neuralgia, eye sensitivity, vision is fine, itching, swelling, dizzy spells, all intense until early July. I asked for a D3 blood work and found my level was at 21, vitamin D3 that is. I'm taking self-administered dose of 5,000 units. Avocados and watermelon juice weirdly helped as well. Today, I still notice facial itching on occasion and random icy hot sensations on my right arm and seldom dizzy spells. My neurologist wants me to start a DMT, which of course stands for disease modifying therapy. I'm nervous and overwhelmed. I haven't fully processed this yet. I want to research the meds, but I'm also scared that once I start infusions, I won't be able to bartend anymore. I feel like I don't have the ability to process right now. I'm having a hard time thinking clearly. I don't know where to start. Take a deep breath. That's definitely one place to start. So, here are the actual questions. And I'm going to answer these from my perspective, of course. Number 1, how many lesions did you have when you were first diagnosed? For me, they had counted 13 lesions in my brain. There are more in my cervical area, which that was what they had suspected could be correlated to NMO, which is also known as neuromyelitis optica. It runs parallel, like I've said in another video, it runs very parallel with symptoms to MS, but unfortunately that disease is much more kind of aggressive and it's not really treatable as much. Not that they don't use Rituxan for it. Number 2, which DMTs have actually worked for you or others? For me currently, as I've mentioned, I like Kesimpta. I hope I can stay on Kesimpta for the duration. I have also, of course, been on Rituxan, Ocrevus, and the Tecfidera. I'm sorry, it took me a minute. Tecfidera. I hated Tecfidera, of course. I've made that known in other again. It gave me, long story short, the runs. That very much so. It was worse than prepping for a colonoscopy. And I like Kesimpta. I love that I can do it at home. I take it out of the fridge, warm it up for a few minutes till it comes, so it's not super icy cold. Give myself a quick jab in the bike tire down here, which I'm working on. And I go about my day. I love it. Everything so far seems to be fine for me too. Number 3, I know diet isn't everything, but has anyone tried, and I'm not familiar with some of these to be perfectly honest, Baroque, Swank, Walls, I'm of course familiar with, without DMTs. I know it can help you feel better overall. I know how many will say medications exist for a reason. I just want to wrap my head around everything I can. Understandable, again. I'm right there with you. My thoughts race too, and like, what about this? What about that? I personally, my diet sucks. I feel that the drugs have helped me considerably, aside from my diet. But I do notice, of course, I feel obviously wonderful when I actually follow a good diet and I exercise and I do all the healthy things. Unfortunately, I have a problem with food. I love food and I love the bad food. So if it works for you, again, wonderful. Certainly give it a try. I personally don't beat yourself up about it. I wouldn't go too crazy about it. I feel, I personally, my 2 cents, I know a lot of patients have tried the following a gluten-free. I'm just not a fan of it. I just feel like it's a fad. Sorry, unless you have celiac disease, I don't see the purpose of that particular diet. But again, if it works for you, great. I personally, if I do follow anything when I am in a good healthy swing, I'm a big fan of more like Mediterranean diet type things. And I've mentioned that, I think, again, salmon, avocado, olive oils, things like that. Those tend to be, more less inflammatory type things. So my 2 cents. Number 4, I'm terrified of losing my job, cognitive decline, not being able to walk, basically everything. If anyone has lesions in similar spots, how are you doing? Did DMTs help? Which, I apologize, I guess I didn't look at the lesions part. Where do they say their lesions? They have 4 to 5 lesions. This person's very, very specific. 4 to 5 lesions in the corpus callosum, centrum semovali, and medulla. At the time of diagnosis, I had 1 evolving lesion in the right centrum semiovale, about 5 millimeters in size. Cervical spine, 3 to 4 lesions from C2 to C7, and thoracic spine, T5, 6, 9, 10. Here's the thing. I know it's very, that's one of those things because you feel like the more that you know every single, and I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing, but you're also going to kind of get too much into your head and fixate. There, I can tell you right now, the brain itself is it's one of the biggest mysteries, as I understand it, to, I mean, any given physician. There's so many mysteries to it. So for you to, and I'm not saying you don't, but even the doctors don't necessarily know. I couldn't tell you what lesion in my brain has resulted in what dysfunction I've had. I can say maybe down here gives me more of a sense of what's going on. And granted, we don't focus too much in MS down in the lower areas, but I am without a doubt, I am sure I have lesions down in my lower area. So my sacral, my lumbar, without a doubt, because I had numbness in my feet. That's not totally, my legs actually waist down. So that's not going to be necessarily completely related to my brain. Not saying that it's not. But, so I would say, knock on wood, I'm doing fine. I would say for you, focus on what you can do today. Focus on, and maybe even a little bit tomorrow. Do the things that you feel you need to do. As I mentioned with the celebrity video, make sure you're walking. Make sure you're moving about. I think there's nothing wrong with, keeping your body moving. It doesn't mean tomorrow it's gonna go. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility, but that doesn't mean that as long as you keep working it out and moving your body, that you'll still have some of that muscle memory there. So keep that in mind. Again, deep breath, take it day by day, but I certainly understand. And I hope that answered that question. Number 5, I'm also worried about weight gain and hair loss from DMTs. Hi. I don't know, for me, it's probably because I'm in my 40s though too. This says, I've gained a lot of weight over the past couple of years and my confidence is low. How do you lose weight? Which meds have caused hair loss for you? I don't think that my medications, maybe Kesimpta has. I don't feel, again, that I've lost a tremendous amount of hair. I feel, again, I'm in that menopause stage, or approaching menopause. I haven't hit that yet, but if anything, that's what I think it could be. Make sure you're taking your supplements as well. They have, of course, vitamin E, biotin, those things that that hair, skin, and nails types things. Make sure collagen, make sure you're getting all those, supplements and nutrients. It certainly couldn't hurt. Check with your doctor, of course, too. I haven't really, I guess, personally researched that particular side effect to medications. I would think maybe possibly the more cancer adjunctive type, so like Rituxan. But again, I didn't feel like I lost a lot of hair with Rituxan. I don't know. It's just me. I just would keep in check with your doctor and see what you feel, what he or she might know that works best for you in terms of if that's one of your bigger fears. Totally get it though. All I can say, take a deep breath, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Okay, next question. That was kind of a long one again. What did you experience before getting diagnosed with MS that you realized was a symptom of the condition? For me, again, numbness. I'd have, again, one leg would go numb, come back, another leg would go numb, come back, random bits in my arms. I remember one side of my chest to the other side. It was kind of weird. I had a little bit in nursing school. I remember playing the reverse stranger. Some of you might know that one. Haha, really sick joke. But my ass was numb, but I could feel my hand. It was weird. So like I knew who was wiping. It was a very weird sensation. That's what I called that one. Hi. So anyhow, sick humor. But yeah, that's definitely, I can trace back to then. No vision, nothing else really that I can recall. It was just mainly the numbness that really stood out to me. Next question. I have been diagnosed with benign MS, which I'm assuming maybe this person is meaning the clinically isolated syndrome type. Has anyone else been given the same diagnosis? No, I have not, obviously. It says this person adds onto it and says they aren't going to put me onto treatment, but they are going to rescan me in 2 months, brain and scan. I have a low lesion load in my brain, none on my spine as of last year, and positive for bands in CSF. That's, this person says they're 26, they're a male, and first symptoms were November 2022. The first neuro wanted to put me on treatment, was mid-diagnosis. This person apparently also lives overseas. They live in London. And that took over, this other physician that took over my care doesn't want to put them on treatment. I think this is a common case. I'm very new to clinically isolated syndrome. I didn't honestly know that was a thing until I started this channel and kind of doing more research. I found that very interesting, which I would like to learn more about that. It seems to be kind of a one and done kind of situation, and I'm speaking this in a very broad sense because I don't know a lot about it. So it could be a situation where, yes, you don't need treatment as long as you maybe just follow a healthy lifestyle. They're going to monitor and kind of go from there. I would also, my 2 cents would be, if they haven't looked at labs, checking your vitamin D would probably be something they might be doing. And, it doesn't hurt to take a little vitamin D from time to time too. I mean, we all should, really. It's an immunity vitamin. It's not bad for you. It's a good thing. So, yeah, that's what I know about that one. Again, that wasn't, a lot. Okay, trigger warning. Sorry, I have a nose itch. Trigger warning. This one's kind of long, but this is a new diagnosis. This person, this was a little older, was written a while ago anyway, that said. I don't know why I'm writing this. I have suffered from health anxiety for the last 5 years. I am very sorry. I know that's a tough one. I have had every life-threatening disease, millions of doctor's appointments, and hours spent down the internet rabbit hole having panic attack after panic attack. I'm gonna cut right there, and this goes for anything, any disease. As someone who works in healthcare, and I speak on behalf of probably the entire healthcare community, Dr. Google is not going to help you. I'm sorry to say. You can get a little information, I'm not saying, but Dr. Google isn't going to be the end-all be-all answer. So just keep that in mind. The best piece of advice for that, I would say, is stay the hell off the internet for that kind of stuff. Go watch a movie, watch something funny, and then go to, medical journals. Medical journals, those are actually the true form of research. And I'm going to tell you right now, even at what I've read, there are a lot of jargon and a lot of it's hard to process. I personally, I'll skim through it. I'll try to get the bits that I can. This is me reading a journal, mind you. The conclusion's what I'm looking at and whatever I can get out of the conclusion, because there's a lot going on in there and a lot of big words. Just saying. So, with that said, and that's going to typically be the direct source of information. And it's not easy as the public to get that. So, that's what I'm going to tell you right now. Just go watch a movie. Don't read too much into it. Try to get a little bit what you can. But again, Dr. Google, it's a big okay. Then it happened. My worst fear came true. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a lifelong chronic illness. Yes, lifelong chronic illness, but not the end of your life. I promise you. So what do I have to worry about now? Nothing. As bad as the diagnosis is, I feel at peace knowing I don't need to be freaking out about having an illness anymore because it's happened. God, I love this. I feel like I can see through the wall. This is great. Everything has been put in perspective for me, and I'm so sad about the years I lost worrying about being sick when I was healthy, because now I actually am sick, but I will be fine. Yes, exactly. I am sorry if this triggered anyone, but from someone who knows health anxiety, or who knows health anxiety so well, I just want to say, as hard as it is, please try not to let health anxiety take over your life, because I did, and all the worrying in the world didn't stop a thing. It only wasted time. There you go. This person, great. This is absolutely right. Carrying, and I need to remind myself of this, and I think we all do. Carrying negativity on our shoulders is dead weight. Exactly. We're only, what is it? The best thing that I've ever heard. Wishing bad or wishing bad upon somebody, or carrying that negativity in your heart if something like this, it's the same thing as drinking poison and expecting either that person to die or expecting that problem to go away. It's not gonna, right? So this person, I think, has a great outlook on it, and this is kind of my take on it. It's hard. Of course, it's traumatic. It's kind of, at first, but with proper, just kind of with time, it'll resolve. It truly will. Okay, this is a vent rant from this, and when was this person? I think I want to say this one's a little more recent. I don't know if I'll read all this. We'll see. It's long. I have been seeing an MS specialist in another town since my diagnosis of 2018 because I was initially sent to him for a second opinion. He had 30 plus years of experience, and he told me he had no doubt that I had MS. Well, he retired this year. I am on my second neuro since. The first was wonderful, though she did tell me that I was probably entering SPMS due to increase of level of symptoms and progression on MRI. She ordered Ocrevus. And Ocrevus is a medication that has been researched to find that it does treat SPMS quite well. After a few months, she decided to move back home, so now I have yet another neuro. I guess maybe this person has two neuros. Is that what that means? First appointment, disastrous. He tells me that there are risks and expenses with MS treatment, and he doesn't really think I have MS. What? Is what this person said. He ordered MRIs, and if there has been more progression since the Ocrevus, he will consider a change in diagnosis. He seems to think it's white matter disease / dementia. He is not an MS specialist. So it's not like I was happy about an MS diagnosis, but this? To take away a diagnosis of MS with all the research and treatments and potential hope, and leave me with a diagnosis that ends in a terrible death and has no treatments, well, it is what it is despite his opinion. That was written kind of weird, sorry. but I don't think that it seems like a good treatment decision. Why not err on the side of caution? It said Why not err on the side of caution instead of leaving me with no treatment and no hope? I am having a lot of trouble dealing with this. Does anyone else have a diagnosis of MS without oligoclonal bands in spinal tap? I had elevated IgG, but no OCB, oligoclonal bands. This is what all of this hinges on. He seems like he couldn't care less about my symptoms or disabilities and how consistent they are with MS. Has anyone else ever deal with this, with someone questioning an established diagnosis? How did you deal with it? Is this going on? Okay. That's a long one. I don't know much about white matter disease / dementia. That is very tragic if that is the case. Reading through all of this though, and I think probably most of you are watching this too, I would say just go and get another go get a second opinion, a third, fourth opinion. Go talk to this doctor. Maybe, yeah. You can't, I know it's frustrating to have to go to another physician when you feel like you may feel like you have established a relationship, but if you're not happy with that particular treatment or what they're telling you, and you don't, it's what your body's telling you. How are you feeling? So I would possibly pursue another opinion, or I would. It sounds like to me. I have also, and I don't know if have I mentioned this, that might be a video I talk about. I have had a very, very bad physician that I've worked with. She was a nightmare. And I very quickly went on that one and I was almost in tears going back to my old physicians. I love them. So again, it's all about your comfort at the end of the day, period, the end. No questions. That's it. So go get another doctor. That's the best one I can say. That's my answer to that one. Okay. New to MS, just got to get this out. And then we will hopefully maybe wrap this up. About 5-6 years ago, I started having limping problems and slight balance issues and took a few falls at work. And pretty much right when the pandemic started, I really started having issues with my stamina for walking. I almost completely ran out of strength while wandering aimlessly around the mall. We used to do that a lot, lots of window shopping and trying to figure out how to buy things. Man, I feel, God, I love to do that too. I'll do that just in Walmart or the grocery store, for crying out loud. But she had to get a wheelchair for me. I don't know who that is. She had to get a wheelchair for me because I couldn't walk around anymore. My job wanted me to chase down what was going on with my balance due to my balance issues, and despite my girlfriend helping me walk, she being this person's girlfriend, we were luckily working at the same company. My falls, albeit rare, were starting to cause insurance worries for the higher-ups. Understandable, but annoying. So I kept after it. My normal MO for health-related issues was, I'm just broken because I'm overweight and getting older. That's just how life is, and this is now baseline moving on. But my doctor pointed out that there was something going on neurologically and sent me to get an EMG. I would think an MRI? EMG. I have to look. I'm sorry. Some of the times these terms, even if I don't know everything. I don't know anything. They just find anything, but they didn't find anything, but referred me to a neurologist. She said there were a few options: medications interactions, something on my spine, or MS. Hopefully not that. My girlfriend didn't take that very well. She thought that diagnosis was a death sentence, which I know that's a knee-jerk reaction, but obviously we know that's not the case. I didn't really know what MS was because I was still stupid and in my early 30s. But I read up on it and the pieces started lining up quite well. So since it was basically the worst diagnosis, my brain decided it was that. I've always been a pragmatic, path of least resistance kind of guy, with a healthy dose of nihilism. Oh, that must be exhausting. Anybody gets that joke? Okay, cool. And decided that I just wanted to know why. I was having these issues. I wanted an answer and did care what the actual reason was. Eventually, through MRIs and a spinal tap, which was fun to watch on screen, unsettling as it was for the doctors when I told them I wanted to watch, due to the length of time I'd been having these issues, 4+ years. Combined with imaging and spinal evidence, I was diagnosed with PPMS on 4/4/24. Oof. My heart goes out to you. That's a hard one. Wow. It destroyed my girlfriend. We've been together for 13 years now, and during the diagnostic time, I told her that if it was MS and she wanted to leave, I wouldn't blame her. Oof. It's not what she signed up for when we started dating, and I'd understand. She told me to shut the fuck up, and she's not going anywhere. Wow, your girlfriend must be really good friends with my boyfriend. Because same thing for me. He said, fuck MS, I was here first. We love those people, and thank you for family members out there who are like that. We need you people. Thank you. And surprise, it's MS. I figured, okay, I have it. I have my answer. Nothing I can do about the diagnosis. Next steps, damage control. Moving on. And my girlfriend accepted it better when I explained my mindset about it to her. I told her I have it. I've probably had it for a while. I'm always going to have it, and it's just going to get worse. Next steps, damage control. Okay. A couple of months later, I was given a golden handshake for my job, applied for disability, and started unemployment. I surprisingly got disability this year, and now I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life and my time. My MS has taken my ability to type quickly due to numbness in my hands. I also can't read very easily due to double vision. Oh man. Can't walk, unassisted by my walker, and I don't drive anymore because I don't trust myself behind the wheel of a car anymore. I just don't know what to do anymore. All I do all day is sit like a lump on the couch all day and play games with Switch, PC, and or phone, and do my physical therapy exercises. I know it's not my fault, and I know there's nothing I can really do about it, but I just feel like I'm lazy and I'm a failure. You are nowhere near lazy and a failure. Not at all. I guess I just needed to vent this out. Thank you for listening. Oh my gracious. Buddy, you have got the shit end of the stick, and my heart so hurts for you. Wow. You're not alone. You need to know that. I hope you know that. There are groups, like I've posted a million times. If you hopefully look at what all I write on these videos, please hit me up. I know it's an email. I know I'm not supposed to, but right now it's the only way I have for contact. Please reach out. Well, I'm sure there's others, but please reach out for me for contact. I would love to talk to you. Just be a sounding board. I can be your vent person, someone who knows or has at least a slight idea of what you're going through. Unfortunately, I don't know PPMS people. Well, I do know a couple, but I would love to just whatever I can help you in any way. But I guess I would just say, obviously, hey, if the game's for right now, if that's what's getting you through, so be it. That's your thing. If you're in an area, I know this is for most MSers, they love this because cold weather's coming on soon, which I secretly hate. I love the sunshine, but every time you can do to get outside, time with your girlfriend, whatever you can, maybe anything activity-wise, maybe you can do with your girlfriend. Get creative. I hear you. I just want you at least to know that I hear you. Man, here I am kind of wallowing in my sorrows, kind of in things that's going on in my life, and here you are with your things. So, man, it puts things in perspective, and I just want you to know that you're a champion. Yeah, it's corny. I'm blowing smoke up your ass maybe, but I'm still going to say it because I mean it. You're a champion. You're a badass, and you'll get through this. So, yeah. Okay. I think that was my last one for now because I could, try to keep these videos short, or not too long. So this was a long one, but I wanted to do it because I want to connect with people. So there it is. Please continue to watch these, share these. Please comment. I would love to interact with whoever's watching these. Don't be all a creepy lurker. Get on here and say something. Ask me things. I don't care. And let's connect. So comment, subscribe, share, all those things. You know the deal. And we're gonna make another video. We'll keep making these videos. All right. Peace out.